Hi everyone, welcome back to another Minisode of Stop Shitting on Yourself,
where we answer a question with a glass of whatever the fuck. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, we both have our coffee.
Actually, mine is chai tea. It's a chai tea latte. No coffee today because I had some in the morning as well. So I don't want to be like caffeinated up by like 4 p.m. So, I'm sticking
This
with
is
the chai tea.
my second glass, so
Dang.
it's just one of those days I like really need coffee to stay up.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, midweek, it's like the hardest day of the week,
Yeah, tell me about
So,
it.
I get it.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Jessica?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you two like separate incidents, but I swear they're connected, that all will lead to what I want to ask you today. So my husband doesn't have social media. He's just like not a big social media person. It's very, very weird. I still find it weird, but whatever.
Some people aren't.
This past week, because he doesn't have social media, he's been like on the hunt for this like vintage item, and there's like a Facebook group for that. So he was like, oh, can I use your account just to like join, just to like ask some questions and whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, like why not, like I don't use my social media like that, but I was like, yeah, sure. So, and I'm very open about my social media accounts. Like he has my login for things. He has his own like Face ID on my phone. And we have that for each other. So I didn't mind giving him my, my information and stuff. So that was kind of like a one-off incident. I didn't think too much of it. Right.
Okay.
And then I saw something on TikTok.
Oh, it's listening.
It's probably listening. No, it is 100% listening. And I scrolled through this one girl where she was talking about an incident where she was dating this guy.
Okay.
And they've been dating on and off, and then finally they decided to make it, social media like public.
Okay, like social media official.
Yes. I was like, what is this? What do you call this?
Yeah.
So, she started posting pictures about him, and he started posting pictures, about her on their own social media. And then the dude's ex-girlfriend messaged her, DM'd her, and said like, hey, you should watch out for this guy. Like, he's like a serial cheater. Like, he's had like so many girls on the side. Like, just be careful.
Okay.
And this is what she cautioned too on TikTok, was like, she's like, with stuff like this, it could either be like a really jealous ex, so, like tread lightly, or like if you already have that, like sixth sense about something, you maybe want to look into it. So I guess she started like feeling maybe like something's going on.
Okay.
In general. So she was like, she's not proud of it, but she logged onto his Insta and went through his DMs. And she was like, she has suspicion about this one girl specifically. So she was like, she didn't look through any of his other DMs, but just that one DM with this girl that she has suspicions about. Come to find out that he made plans with this girl the same weekend that, this girl is going out of the city to like visit her family.
No.
Yeah. So she was like, okay, suspicion confirmed. Like he indeed was going to cheat on, like it hasn't happened yet. But he's going.
But he already made plans. He was being deceitful and like, wow. So she caught that.
Yeah, so she caught that, and so she confronted him about it. He didn't say, like, she was like, maybe I'll give him a chance. Like, I'll maybe give him a chance to like
give him a chance or whatever. For what? Girl, you already got the evidence right there. He was caught in 4K, bruh. Like, what?
True. But she was like, I'm just gonna ask. I'm like, hey, like, is there something you're hiding from me that, like that you just want to like tell me about? And he was like, no, like I'm super true. Like, I like, everything about me. I've told you everything about my past, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, then why is this girl coming to see you this weekend that I'm leaving to, see my family? So like, and he totally 100% turned it around on her and was like, why are you going through my DMs? Like,
Huh.
why are you so untrustworthy? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh my God. The classic narcissistic response.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Totally like was gaslighting her, turned that shit around. And she was like, you know
Wow.
what? I'm done. So good for
Yeah, good
her.
for
Good
her.
for her.
Uh-huh.
So so both of those events kind of happened around the same week. So
Okay.
I'm kind of curious because
Yeah.
I've never had to like talk about this with any of my exes and not with my husband because he doesn't have
Okay.
social media. But like,
Yeah.
what is this like? What do you think is the proper, I guess, like sharing password etiquette with your
Hmm.
partner? Like, one, do you think you need to share with your partner?
Mhm. Okay.
And like, when do you do it? And then is it like a question? Like, do you just go up to them and be like,
Oh.
hey, you want to share socials? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's tricky because I feel like it depends on what you and your partner are comfortable with. So there
Mm,
isn't like a set answer of like, okay, it's been 3 months since we've like officially started dating. Now we get to share passwords. That's the next step in our
yeah,
relationship. Like it's not a level up type of thing. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just really how comfortable are you with your partner. But I think
Mm,
at one point, like if you two are very honest with each other and you're official, like you're trying to, take this relationship to like the next level, or maybe, spend the rest of your life with this person, whatnot.
yeah,
Um, why not share passwords? Like, what are you hiding? Right. I feel
yeah.
like when partners are just hesitant to share, I mean, their reasons could be, oh, I value my privacy, or,
Mhm.
I don't know, it's weird that somebody else has my password, whatever their excuse is.
Yeah,
I just find those excuses weird. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
because what are you hiding? Like, this is your partner. You spend so much time with this person. You're so intimate with this person, whether it is,
Mhm.
emotionally, physically, mentally, you're intimate with this person. And
Yeah.
your, social media or whatever you have on your phone, that's a part of, your guys' life too, I think. And I think it seeps
Mhm.
into the relationship. So, like, why not? Why not share? I think maybe if you are hiding something, you might be more reluctant to share passwords because you want to protect that quote unquote privacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if you do share passwords, then like when you get caught, just like the guy that you said, you just gotta admit it instead of turning it around on your partner.
Yeah.
It's like that whole comment about like, why were you looking through my phone? It's like, well, why were you doing all these sneaky things behind me in the first place?
Mhm, mhm.
Like,
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, I have nothing to hide, especially if you're my partner, especially if I'm like gonna spend my life with you. Like, what are you hiding, right?
right.
Um, but you know what? I do have friends that won't share these things with their significant other. They feel like,
Hmm.
when you're in a relationship, you should still have your own privacy. You should still
Okay.
have your own, like your own life outside of that relationship. Which
Mhm.
again, to me, it's like it's kind of weird because if you choose this person to be your partner, it doesn't have to be a life partner. It could just be, you're dating this person
Okay.
exclusively. Like I feel like it's almost like a respect thing. Like I'm giving it to you not so you can log on to it 24/7 and like
Right.
spy on me,
Right.
but if you just need it for that extra level of security, why not?
Yeah.
But I do feel like a lot of people, at least in my friend circle, like they kind of see it as like an invasion of their own privacy. Like, why do you need to see every single
Yeah.
thing that it's going on in my social media, you know?
So I know you just mentioned that the same friends that you're talking about believe that they can have their own lives outside of the relationship, which I think is true. Like you should have your own life. You should have like your own thing outside of the relationship so that you kind of
Yeah.
maintain who you are too.
Mhm.
But that's not a reason to keep your passwords from your partner, especially when it comes to like your phone or even like social media. What's the big deal? Like seriously,
Yeah.
what is the big deal if your partner knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like and I think some people, I mean, hopefully you have a partner who's not like batshit crazy. Like, cause some people are batshit crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what gender, like some people are just fucking out there.
Yeah.
But if you do trust your partner and they're like good peoples and you two are honest with each other, then what's the big deal? That what's the harm?
Yeah.
If you know that the other person that you're with has some insecurities because of their past relationship traumas or whatnot, and they would feel more comfortable just, knowing that you're not hiding something. It's
Mhm.
not like they're going to check up on your phone. And I think that communication needs to be clear too, when
Yeah.
maybe if you sense that the other person is going through something or whatnot. I don't know. Like the
Yeah,
communication
yeah.
just needs to be clear when the passwords are shared. Um,
True. Yeah.
because you definitely don't want somebody like to look through your phone just to check every
Mhm,
single
mhm,
time, because yeah, that would get annoying. But
mhm.
I don't think there's harm in actually sharing your password for your
Right.
phone, or even like having your significant other just use your social media for whatever, as long as you
Right.
trust them and you know who they are and communication's clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
do think it is important to like maybe set I don't know if like setting ground rules is correct, but like it is
Yeah.
important to kind of like know each other's like boundaries, right? I feel like that's one
Right.
of sort of maybe just like getting to know each other, right?
Mhm.
If one of you are super comfortable with that and the other is not, then, maybe that seeps into like other areas of your life
Mhm.
that you may
Mhm.
disagree on. So even though, we're saying like, social media password, but I definitely know of some people that are like, if we start dating, you got to delete like all your guy contacts off your phone. Like I've heard that before.
Oh.
Um, oh, you've never, you don't know anyone like that?
No, not any of the people that I keep close to me.
I mean, I've heard that in the past.
I've heard other people on social media say that, but not people who are like super close to me, because if they did that, I would probably just let my friends know, like, "Bitch, they don't need to do all that."
Yeah, I'd be
You,
like,
you
"Why?
know?
Why? Like, why?
Yeah.
What do you think is happening?" But so I do think it is a level of like communication of understanding like what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with,
Mhm.
and like, is this okay? Like, is this like pushing you too much past your line too? And if it is, then like that probably seeps into other areas of your relationship as well.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know. I feel like there are people that are like super, I don't know, possessive about things like that.
Yeah.
But to me, it just seems like sharing any other parts of your life,
Mhm.
if you're going to share a part of your life, like social media is kind of just one of them. I know this whole idea of like sliding into your DMs might be new, but
Mhm.
it's like the new thing.
It's like the new way to like flirt with somebody.
Right. And it's also like
Mhm.
how you respond to those DMs.
Right.
People can slide into your DMs like anytime, right? But it's
Right.
like, do you respond to it? Do you open it? Like, do you engage?
Right.
And I think that's probably why people, kind of want to check up on it. And then, if you're doing shady stuff, then I totally get it also.
So I want to go back to what you kind of said. But I think there is some kind of etiquette when it comes to sharing passwords, whether it's your
Mm,
phone and the social media or whatever it's logged in. I feel like if you do have access to your partner's, private device, right? Um,
yeah.
I don't think you should be looking through their messages all the time, or even I don't know. I don't like honestly, I don't think I would even look through my partner's messages. Like that's not something I would
Yeah.
look through, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. It's too much for me, at least.
It's I find that a little weird. It's like why do
hmm
I want to know the kind of conversations that he's having with friends or, you
Yeah.
know, whoever, unless there is some kind of suspicion in the air. But if
hmm
you go into, your partner's phone or device with that intention of like trying to find something to, that could potentially sabotage the relationship, I think there's an
Yeah.
issue there. And I think that the person who's looking for all that needs to confront whether they're in the right relationship or not.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and it could be like, that maybe their partner is acting really suspicious. Maybe they're doing things and you have signs where it seems like they're being unfaithful. So there's that part. Let's confront that. Or it could be like your own legitimate insecurities where it's like maybe you have been cheated on before, or like someone has
Mm,
completely betrayed your trust before, and you find yourself in a position where you keep looking through their messages. Okay, well, let's confront that too, right? But if your intention of knowing the password and, getting into their device is to snoop for something and get something that could
yeah.
potentially sabotage the relationship, I think there's a problem there. But,
Mm,
otherwise, like you just have it and your phone's in the other room and your significant other's phone's right next to you and you want to look up something that you want to eat for lunch, whatever. That
yeah.
should be okay,
Yeah.
you know?
I agree with you completely on that. And we've even mentioned it in past podcasts before that for the
Mm,
most part, like if you're going into your partner's phone to find something, whether it's in their DMs or text messages or whatever, like
mhm.
you'll probably find something. And it's like a much larger issue, right? Like I feel
Right.
like for the most part, if it's not because of like past traumas that you're dealing with, um it's probably because you have some weird sixth sense, and it's most of the time true.
Mhm,
But,
mhm.
I do think, like, these are small, like, small incidences where it's, like, sharing passwords, fine, like, sharing social media, that's all fine. I do feel like at the end of the day, it's, like, whatever you're comfortable with your partner, whatever your partner is comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if you need an extra level of like security or,
Mhm.
assurance or whatever, like why not give it to them? And it is if your partner is denying you of that, that's when you should question like, is there
Yeah.
something more than that?
Right, right. And am I also okay with dealing with that?
Yeah,
Even if like
yeah.
there isn't anything going on and it's literally just them not wanting to share certain things in their life, is that something you're okay with? And is that the
Yeah.
type of partner you want? Because I think some people are completely okay with that. Some people are on the same kind of agreement terms,
Mhm.
whatever, when it comes to not sharing passwords. Cool. That's
Yeah.
fine. Then it works for them. Right.
Yeah.
But, I think that's when you have to think about whether that's the type of person you want, whether that's the type of relationship you want. And if it's not, then, at least, it's early enough. You can go find someone else.
Very true. Honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm like super into true crime podcasts and stuff like that. Like I want
Uh-huh.
my husband to have like like all my passwords, like know
Yeah.
my bank statements. Because if something happens to me, he can log onto my computer at my phone and be like, where was the last, like, where was
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
place she was at? Who was the last person that messaged her? Like,
Yeah.
find me.
And I have friends where they will share their locations with their significant other and both have their
Yeah.
locations. And not because like, oh, I want to check up where she is and or where he is to see if they're doing A, B, C, or D suspicious things, but it's just more of, oh, where are they? Oh, they're heading back home. Okay. Are they gonna get back home safely? Right?
Right.
Like their
Yeah.
intentions are very pure and it's
Mhm.
like it's for the good of the other partner. But I feel like if that's the case and both parties know that, then I think it's fine to be sharing private information like that.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if intentions are different, if the
Yeah.
intentions are malicious or maybe not even malicious, but like, it's not for the good of the relationship, then just don't, just
Mhm.
maybe
Mhm.
don't share passwords or just go into another relationship with somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, as always, I feel like we agree for the most part, and that's why we're friends and,
Oh
we
my God,
have
I know, right?
the same ideologies when it comes to stuff like this. But, let us know, like, if there's anything that we said here today that you didn't agree, if you don't share passwords or social media stuff with your significant other, um,
Hmm.
like, let us know how that conversation goes. Cause I don't know. I feel like if one party asks and the other party says no, I'm automatically suspicious. So
Yeah, it's a little odd, I would say.
yeah, so I don't know how that conversation would go. But again, like I don't know the circumstances that I don't know. So let us know
True.
if if this applies to you or doesn't apply to you. And
Hmm.
hopefully you guys can get through that because I think for us it's not a big deal, but it is like the
Hmm.
new thing for the kids now.
I guess so. Or you know what? You can just go and find somebody else, start a new relationship, boo. You know what I mean? You don't need to stick around with somebody who's not going to share parts of their life with you. We don't want that.
We don't need that.
Bye. Sorry.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
that's everything we have for you guys this week. We'll see you guys back here next Wednesday.